The Mindy to get me plugged in.
Oh. On. I'm live now.
Hang on 1 second, Mindy.
I'm going to be replaced with somebody who's more technologically savvy.
Hey, Josh, are we live there? Are we moving around at least?
Yeah, we're live and you're moving around. As soon as you said, "Are we live?" I clicked live, and then you're like, "Hold on," and well, land broadcast now. It's.
Does everybody have a packet?
Okay, we're going to get started, everybody.
Everyone has it. I'm hoping that Josh, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yeah, I can hear and see.
Cool. Welcome, everybody. Mining your databases today. Does everybody have a packet?
Yes.
Yeah. You're going to need it?
Yes.
Well, this is interesting. So now we've got Josh can see everything. I can see it all here, but apparently we can't see it on the television. We lost television.
Hey, Ryan, I don't think it's the TV. I think it's the screen settings you have on the laptop.
Okay, as soon as this come back on again, then you'll tell me what I need to do if you would.
So instead, either drag the PowerPoint over to that screen or mirror your screens.
It's always lovely. I've got so now I can't. No, I'm not moving at all.
Roger, are you hungry? You sure you don't want something more to eat? Okay, just checking.
You want more too?
Yeah.
Let it go to waste. I'll bring you some tomorrow.
You promise? For those of you who don't know Roger, Roger is Associated Exterminator. And Roger is an avid fisherman, deep sea. And who cares if he's in the bug business? Let's talk about the fish business. So prior to Roger's arrival, I have a bruise on my hip, probably this big, from scratching so hard from bug bites. And a friend of mine had us over to his yard on Sunday or Saturday, and my ankles, I must have 20 bug bites on my ankles. And I've told the man, your house is stunning, gorgeous, it's wonderful, but you've got a problem with bugs. And it doesn't cost that much to call a guy who's got the good stuff.
Right, I think you froze again. Hi everyone, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. We will be back up in just a few minutes.
Really? Well, I was afraid with.
Not want to touch
Oh,
it.
good point. I like the way.
Yeah. They say the vaccine doesn't work. Masks don't work.
We're not supposed to talk about this.
That's what they want you to do. Yeah, what are we supposed to tell you?
Said we don't want to talk, they don't want us to talk about this.
Yeah. We're not.
That's exactly what they all
Get your
want.
vaccination and wear a mask. Forever.
Okay. Let's talk about extermination.
Well, that's what they're working on. That's what it's all about.
Okay, I think I got this thing working.
No, Mark.
It's on the screen. We're, yeah, the famous reboot. Now we got something from Microsoft that's still. Hey, Marshall, why is it that I have an Apple computer and I'm still getting messages from Microsoft to bother me? Okay.
Because you're using PowerPoint.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Thanks, Josh. Okay, you're going to start us on live going, buddy?
Yeah, we've been live.
Oh,
We've been live for
okay.
8 minutes.
Okay, so. Got the packets. That's where I was before.
Yes.
Left side. I'm going to go through that part a little quicker than I normally would. These are basically the items that we share with you. We do these seminars all the time. We do them for free. It's to help you guys try and grow your business. That's our whole goal. At Geneva, one of the things that we like to do at Geneva, and we've got a great marketing department or an advertising department. And our mission at the advertising department is for every loan that we can do on your behalf, we want to deliver back 2 to 3 loans to you. That sound good to anybody?
Yeah.
So in order to make that happen, we've got all kinds of tools for you. And that's what some of these sheets are on the left side there. We've got our database co-branded. We can do every Tuesday we come out with a new newsletter. We can co-brand that for you for your entire database. I send out about 38,000 myself every Tuesday.
Wow.
Fridays I do about 25,000 emails. But the database also watches your database. Has anybody ever gone to had a property that you had sold the property to the homeowners, and all of a sudden you see a for sale sign and it's not yours? Anybody had that happen? Well, this system watches that. So I can't help you once they've already gone under contract with somebody else, but you can help them buy a new house, right? So this system watches it. Co-branded mobile app. So every time somebody goes and starts shopping for a house, they'll go onto your mobile app. You can put your IDX on there, or we have one that we can give you. And then all the different loan programs. So that's what's on the left side. Right side. Next month, as you know, we do these every month. So next month, our lunch and learn is Google My Business. So we're going to teach you how to set up your Google My Business page is next month. That's the first sheet on the right side. Next sheet, you've got mining your database, a survey. I like to see if I can get better every once in a while. So if you'll complete that survey on the way out, we'll just give away 4 days, 3 nights to some hotel in Vegas. Anybody want that? No, we're not gonna pay the gambling fees, taxes, or hotel fees, right? But it is a 2 to 3 night stay. 4 days, 3 nights in a 2 to 3 star hotel. Wow. So one of the hotels I saw was Bally's. I saw one on there was Hilton's. We never know which hotels it's going to be, but it's going to be a decent hotel out there in Vegas. And again, 4 days, 3 nights. You get a certificate. You get to pay taxes, fees, and gambling expenses. For most people, they like that. My wife doesn't, but that's a different story. There's a book following that is Mining Your Database. That's where we're going to be going through this book. That's what we're going to talk about today. And behind that, there's a couple of forms. I have everything electronically just because I know Roger doesn't like paper and he likes electronics and computers and technical. We have fun, Roger. Okay, so now I could say that, Roger, because my wife is the same, right? So she says, don't send me anything, just write it on a piece of paper and give it to me, please.
Not that bad.
So that's going to be a form that you're going to want to keep track of. Our agenda for today. So first off, we're going to talk about structuring your database. Here's the deal. I mean, I have you guys are going to love this. I have a coaching call or a mastermind call. every Monday through Thursday, 5:30 a.m. Maybe that's the early side. That's when it's still dark out. So, and I shared it with Jennifer. I said, well, here's a call that's got some great information. She said, is that AM? Really? Right, so it is recorded, but I watched the live one. So we talk about, and the whole focus, the reason I bring that up is it's all about dealing with your database, right? For every 100 people in our database, we can figure that we can get 2 to 3 loans a month out of for every 100. So that's kind of the focus of what we're looking at. So you got to structure the database. You got to have that thing up and running, knowing what you're going to do. Once it's in the database, what are you doing with it? It's great to have all those names, but if you're not doing anything with them, it doesn't do a whole lot of good. So we'll talk about the follow-up matrix. We're going to talk about tactics, marketing tactics. So there's working in your database is a strategy. What you're going to do with it is a tactic. So an email, that's a tactic. A text message, that's a tactic. Sending out cards, that's a tactic. We're going to talk about that. Systems, got to have a system for everything, right? So anything you don't have a system for means you're leaving something open to chance, and that's when you're going to really get a good opportunity to miss something or make an error. Even on your transactions, I recommend you have to have a system for your transactions. Otherwise, you might forget a form. You might forget a step along the way. So system for everything. Implement the strategy. Here's a biggie, right? So many people, I'm going to get ready to do this tomorrow. Well, that doesn't do any good because tomorrow never comes, right? And then you get the person that says, I'm getting my database ready. And I'm going to get my database ready. And I'm going to aim. And I'm going to aim. And I'm going to aim. I'm going to get my database ready. And I'm going to aim. Fire sometime, right? So I like the idea of ready, fire, aim. What does that mean? So we're going to talk about that. It's basically get ready, get it going, and then go back and redirect. If you missed the shot, go back and redirect it. And then step 6 is my favorite. So it's delegate the tasks, right? So that's basically the idea there is some people call it automate. So some of my masterminds in the morning, they call it automate. So you find out what needs to be done, figure out the whole system, get it all implemented, and automated is defined as somebody else does it, right? So that's kind of our setup right there. That's where we're heading with this. Yeah, so tech support, Jennifer, all of that. Josh, you get to deal with it. So database management, organize and categorize your contacts and communicate with them regularly. So I have a gentleman that I like a lot. And he basically said, if you want to have customers for life, you better talk to them during their life, right? It'll work a lot better that way. So the whole concept here is to get all of these things organized, put them into some sort of a database. Now, what is the best database?
The one you use.
There you go. The one you use, right? Because, I use 5 of them. Some people say that's a little overkill, right? Some people use an Excel spreadsheet. Some people have scraps of paper, right? Every one of them is a database, right? So it could be some of everything. But database versus farm, what is the difference between a database and a farm? Basically, a database, you know the people, right? A farm, you went and you talked to your title rep, and they said, okay, here's the circle of the area that you want to deal with. There's a number of properties in that farm, and the turnover ratio is right. It's something that's doable, and that's a farm, right? You really have no idea who they are or what they're doing. Database is people you're in a relationship with and invest in the relationship to stay top of mind. That's the whole idea. We know the statistics of real estate, right? About 90% of the people say that they would do business with the agent that they used before. Less than 20% do. Number one reason why they don't?
The agent
I don't know where he is.
Forgot about who they are.
Yeah.
Right? I have no idea who it was. Couldn't tell you.
They didn't get the Cutco knife.
So
I love that.
again, the farm is a group of people you've never met. They're just so one of the things I kid about, because some people tell me when I offer them our co-branded newsletter, so I don't want to share my contact list with you.
Really?
It's worthless to me, right? Mark's contact list is worth something to Mark. He knows them, right? I don't know. I can go on Google and find a contact list and have as much relationship as I do with Mark's list, right? So I put Mark's list in there with Mark's name. Now it's meaningful because they're not going to call me, they're going to call Mark. Effective database marketing, structure your database. So you need to have a plan for what you're going to do with this. Follow the matrix, select your marketing tactics. We talked about that. We'll get into that deeper. Design the systems, implement your strategy, and delegate the tasks. Those are the key components right there of that whole process. So you probably have it in your book.
Okay.
I'll try to make it easy for you. I'm into simple, Mark. So structuring your database, you're gonna have different types of contacts to put in your database, right? So
Josh just said he lost you again.
he lost me again.
Maybe I read the timestamp.
Oh, Telegram him back, please, and see. Okay, yes, we do use Telegram. It is a relatively new. Roger, not that Telegram, and it's no Pony Express either.
Try again. Get back up in the hot spots. We were making some great strides. I mean, Ron.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to try and figure. We're gonna keep going. So I want to honor the people's time here.
Thank you.
So obviously we've got two different types of people that we're dealing with, right? Leads and buyers, right? We're not gonna, or buyers and sellers. We're not gonna want to market to buyers the same way as we market to sellers, are we? No, they're completely different. You got a different strategy. If somebody just bought a house from you 3 months ago, you're probably not going to want to keep sending them options to sell the property, are you? That's probably not the idea. So we want to have them separated within your database. You got to know who the prospects are. You've got to know if there's somebody you've done business with in the past. Current clients, right? Are they current clients, previous clients? Are they listings? Are they pre-approvals? Every Thursday we call every person that we've got going that we've got a pre-approval with and a pre-approval out shopping. Why? Because we want to stay in touch with them. We want to find out if they're still out there. Are they still looking? Is something gone south? If we missed something? Maybe they've divorced us and we don't even know it.
Right.
Right?
Right. I got a quote from another lender.
Right. Could be all of those different things. But we're doing this from the realtor's side, Mark, not from the lender's side.
Okay.
Right, but we call. So if we find out, perfect example. So the app that we use, that we give you for free to use, we have a agent out in Palm Desert, and told us, the client out there said, well, I'm not going to keep shopping right now. It's a school teacher, and told us she was not going to do anything, not going to shop, and that went on for about a month or so. And yesterday I came across the app saying that she just put in some numbers to figure out what a mortgage payment would be. So immediately Jennifer's calling her to see what's going on and calling the agent to say, hey, Marnie, guess what? Sydney's out there shopping again, right? So try and make sure that we stay on top of these things. And you got to have in your contacts who your referral partners are, right? If you're not talking to your referral partners, well, you're probably not going to keep getting business from them, sending business to you if they don't know you're there. So we're going to gather all the information we have. We obviously need their name, we need their address, we need their phone number, cell, work, email, birthday, right? Send out birthday cards or birthday videos, right? We're just setting up in our database system where we can actually do a video for everyone's birthday, right? And I just, all I have to do is do one video that is kind of generic, and it gets sent out for people's birthdays right away. Information about the last transaction, we use that for something, right? People,
For tax.
for taxes, sure, but we know people are going to buy every 7 years. Well, used to be every 7 years, now it's every 10 years. But if we know something, if we know about the people, we know some things, that maybe it was a young couple that you helped, and they're just getting ready to buy they just bought their first home from you. Mm-hmm. Maybe you want to keep in touch with them to see if they're going to consider buying another home. If they need a bigger home.
Triplets instead of just one baby.
Could be. Yeah, you need more bedrooms, exactly. So we want to have all this information. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do to get information too. So we need to use our tools, right? So does anybody send out or deliver marketing pieces to their farm?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a one-way communication or is that a two-way communication?
One way.
One way. What if you made that a two-way communication? Would it be better?
Yeah.
Could we do that? Is TV a one-way communication or a two-way communication?
One way.
What about radio?
One way.
If I told you that I communicate back and forth with the people on radio, would that surprise you? So what if I put a message out that says, if you'd like to get a copy of our identity theft handbook, just text RS ID theft book to 79564. Think people have an interest in that?
Yes.
Have we now opened up a dialogue?
Yes.
Now what ends up happening is then we tell them they have to fill out a landing sheet. I don't know, how do I send it to? Right, that book is too big for me to send you on the phone. So I need your name and email address and phone number, and we're gonna text that out to you. We'll send that out to you right away. Obviously it's automated, right? Because I don't wanna be doing that. I like the simple things. What if you did something like that on your flyers that you're going door knocking with? Right? Do you talk to everybody that you go door knocking with, or do you leave a flyer behind? What if you put something on there that you'll send them a 7 steps to a 700 FICO score, free book. Just fill in, here, go to bridget7steps.com. Right? Now you got to tell them, okay, I got to figure out where I'm going to send it to. The whole idea here is I'm building a database. That's what I'm doing with all these things. I'm getting them to start knowing me as someone different than just trying to sell them or give them what I want them to know about. So this time I might give away the 7 steps to a 700 score. Next month it might be the identity theft book. Month after that, what if you did 4 days, 3 nights in Las Vegas?
Oh, they'll fill it out fast.
What if you did 6 days, 5 nights in Cancun?
Yeah.
Right? All things that we can do together. That's the whole idea of filling this out and getting people. And what if you do that at an open house? Has anybody ever gone to an open house and got bad information on their check-in sheet? Ugh. Right? If you're going to give away a trip to Vegas, I've given away iPads, I've given away Apple Watches, right? And I'm not a realtor, right? But I still give those things away. So think about these things outside the box of how you're going to build that database. That's the gold in your whole business is your database. Unless you want to go and try and be in real estate 20 years one at a time, or you can be 20 years. What's the difference between 20 years one at a time? Basically, you've done the same thing over and over again for 20 years. I've never cultivated my contacts. So every year I've got to start out looking for all brand new contacts. And do you think it would be easier to start out looking for all brand new people, or to be able to go back to the same people that already know, like, and trust you? Why easier to go back to the old ones, right? That's the whole focus of it, is to go back to those old people, and more than go back to those old people. The ending sentence of every call that Jennifer makes on behalf of our company. Is there anybody that you know of? Do you have any? Who do you know that Ron can help purchase, sell, or refinance their home? And can we count on you to let us know who that is? Right? Because when you're going and doing a transaction, when you're talking to people, it's simple to ask for that. Now, where are you going to put all this information? CRM, right? Client Relationship Manager. There's all kinds of them out there. So this is about as easy as they get. That looks like an Excel spreadsheet to me. So that's a free one, right? Everyone has Excel on their computer, or what do they call it? Sheets, or Google Sheets, or something along those lines. Everyone's got that, right? Pretty rudimentary. Microsoft Outlook. Anybody have that one? Okay. How about Gmail? Most everyone has either Outlook or Gmail, right? So they've both got contact managers in them. So those are a couple of them. Google Drive spreadsheet, just another one of those. So what's the plan? How are those going to help you to stay in touch with all of your people? Are they going to help you in any way? That's what we're looking for. So what do we want from our CRM? We need something that's going to track every lead, every step of the way, everything that we're doing, right? We need to track of all the tasks. You know, for a lunch and learn, I know that we need to do actually Minnie knows we need to do everything that comes up to a lunch and learn, right? Get the food ordered, get the room secured, get the stuff that I forget, right? So it's all the tasks. We had a checklist for everything. It's a system for everything. Now, be aware if you're going to send out 38,000 emails or 25,000 emails or whatever, like we do, you have to have a service to do that for you, right? You're not going to do that through Gmail or Outlook. They're going to stop you real quick, but you can do it. Still can be done. Constant Contact is one of the services that does it. MailChimp does it. There's others out there. Keeping track of your appointments. And did anybody get a reminder for today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did anybody get less than 3?
Yes. Yeah. No.
Totally got less than 3. Right? So
you cut it back?
exactly. So we have a service, a tool that just reminds people of our appointments so we don't forget them. I don't want to waste time, anybody else's time. I don't want to waste my time. If someone's not going to show up, doesn't want to be here, great. If they don't want to come and meet us at the office, that's fine too. Just let me know. There's others that do, and just let us know. We want to keep track of that. Your CRM should tell you when it's people's birthdays. It should have 2 different times for everybody's birthday. Okay, who's gonna have 2 birthdays, right? Other than Mindy, because she's celebrating all month this month.
Every day, all month.
Right, but my CRM tells me a week.
Tell you where I'll be tonight about 5:30, right, Raj? You know.
Okay, tartan room that is. So, so basically, what's that?
Is that page on here?
It should be. Tracking your leads.
We'll take a picture.
Structure your database, full database. I'll send you the whole, I'll send you the slideshow. Just remind me, Mark,
Okay.
because I don't want to be in your picture. I don't have,
You weren't in there.
I have a face for radio. Right, so birthdays. You need to have a birthday reminder a week in advance of your client's birthdays. That way you can send a card if you want to. Right, and then a birthday reminder for their birthday. That way if you're going to make a phone call, send an email, send a text message, whatever the case may be. So I have 2 for everyone. Your database needs to be the one doing your drip campaigns, right? And we're going to talk about, are you going to send 1, 2, 10? How many emails are you going to send out to people? And we'll talk about setting that up also. And obviously you've got to track your financials, right? So that way it tells me, is it worth it for me to spend a lot of time working with Roger, right? Now, Roger's going to look at it and he's going to say the same thing. Okay, do I want to spend a lot of time with Mark? He's never sent me anybody in the world. So why would I spend a lot of time dealing with Mark when I can deal with Aaron, who sends me 20 people, right?
Not for ankle biters, for like tenting a house and doing other,
Whatever. I don't understand his business. You do it better than me, obviously.
I do.
But we want to track those things. We want to know who it is that we want to spend our time with. So again, choose a CRM that works for you now and in the long term. I can tell you for firsthand, one of the biggest pains in the neck is changing CRMs. And I'll tell you this is the first company I've ever worked with that I've ever really done much in the company CRM. And it's only because they offer a lot of tools for my partners. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even put my stuff in their CRM either. Why? Because we love each other right now. You know what happens 70% of the time in Orange County, California? Divorce. First time marriages end in divorce 70% of the time.
70 now?
70%.
So
So
it's only Orange County, right?
that's Orange County.
Yeah, what happened to
50 is California.
Okay.
So but what my point is there is right now you're thrilled with your company. Every company I work with, I tell them that they work for me. You should say the same thing. The company you work with works for you, right? If they don't have the right tools and resources and programs and products to help you serve your client, you don't need them, right? That's the concept right there. I use what I talk about, and I've shared this probably maybe here before, 3-strike rule. If your partners don't bring you something to make money every third time they see you at least, get rid of them, right? Because they hear about it They're going out and seeing what's going on in the marketplace. They're not sharing with you. But the bottom line here, get a CRM that you're comfortable with, that you think is going to be satisfy your needs for at least 5 to 10 years, unless you're getting ready to retire before that. I know there's more to this thing. So a couple of different CRMs that are out there. Hello. There we go.
There you go.
So some of these you've probably heard of: Top Producer, My Real Estate Tools, Realty Juggler, Exact Contact, Boomtown. Commissions, if you got a lot of money, Commissions Inc. is a good one. I think that's like $1,500 or $2,000 a month, something like that. So
In Boomtown, is Tom Ferry promotes the hell out of that because they must be one of his big partners for a couple years ago.
yeah, he does that. And he does Exact. He did Contactually was one of his recently also. But there's just some of the CRMs, but you do your due diligence on them, right? Find out which one you think is good for you, has the tools for you. Structuring your database. So there should be an all about you form
In the very back.
in the very back of your sheets. Greatness tracker, maybe not. So if you want an all about you form, and we're going to talk about it in a minute, just put on your survey that you want it, and then we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
So an all about you form talks about your consumer. You need to have all this information in there, and you want to fill it out as you're learning about your clients, right? So somebody here was vegetarian, right? Did you bring a
Marshall's a pescatarian.
Mar-
I just learned that.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Fish, okay. So if I know that Marshall's my client and Marshall's a pescatarian, and I ask him if he wants to go out for a big steak dinner,
Yeah, at Pachanga, no thanks.
is that going to be something that's worthwhile? No, but if I tell him I want to go to a good fish restaurant, that might be. But if I don't have the form and I don't keep it somewhere, there's no way for me to keep track of those things, right? So we need to always be watching and understanding and putting it. If you've got a team, especially, make sure this is going into a database that your whole team has access to, right? So and we use one of our databases called Jungo, and there's an area. It's on the Salesforce platform. There's an area on the bottom that lists for kids, and it lists hobbies, and it lists sports, and it lists all these other things. The most important name that or person to remember a birthday of is probably the spouse of your client, especially if it's the female. Right? Send cards. Who makes buying decisions? Always the wife, right?
Yeah.
I get absolutely no vote in our buying decisions, right? If it doesn't meet Mindy's needs, I'm in trouble, so I'm not going to even go there. So you need to know what those things are, right? Know the spouse's birthday so you can send the spouse a birthday card. Get that information out. Put notes about conversations. If you're having conversations with your database on a regular basis, you think you're going to mix them up every once in a while? So just read that recap that's in there so you remember what they're looking for. Roger has a big thing on his desk that says, "Don't talk to Mindy about rabbits," right? So we already know that. So separate your database by importance, right? So you're going to rank your clients A, B, C, right? How do you define what the ABC is? Well, it's all about your business, right? So you may say that if a client, and you may have different contacts in there also. So your referral partners will be ranked also. Referral partner that's never given you a business, is that a referral partner?
No.
But if they give you 1 to 4 deals a year, is that someone good?
Yes.
5 or more deals, is that good?
That's great.
Right? So you're going to mark that down in there. So you're going to have a ranking system so that you know who you're going to talk to. So A's might be 4 or more deals, B's might be 2 or more, C's, they may have sent you a lead somewhere, maybe you did business, maybe you didn't do business, right? So that's just one of the ranking systems. Lead sources. You can basically say that your leads come from 8 places. Almost every lead that you ever get is going to come from one of 8 places. So you can actually have a code in there for every one of them. And I think these pages aren't numbered. So that's on the bottom of the second page, or back of the second sheet. Current client referral, CCR. Past client referral, past client. Personal, family, or friend. Realtor referral. business referral. Maybe it could be your BNI referrals. Maybe it could be your church referrals, whatever you do. Builders, advertisements.
And there's spots for these on these different CRMs.
Yep.
To put that in there so it'll automatically understand.
Yeah, you put them in there. Some of them call it a tag. Some of them will call it a source. It just depends on what it is. Like one of our CRMs, I can put as many tags in there as I want. So then I just go and I filter, okay, everybody so I have one of my tags is for people that have come to Lunch and Learns. So I can send an email just to the people that have come to Lunch and Learns in Orange County because that's a tag in there. Follow-up matrix. Oh, I am. Okay, cool. So select the follow-up matrix that you're going to use, right? So you got an initial lead matrix. So I was just talking with somebody at the office today, we do our radio show, it's over at Realty Pro 100. And he says they basically go for 2 months is what their team's message is. They'll follow up for 2 months and then they're done. Well, our probate system that we work with, we're only getting started after 3 months, right? Because they can't do anything for the first 2 months. They're not, by law, they're not allowed to. So, but the initial lead, you may just have a 8-week follow-up sequence of one sort or another. I know, I think it's Keller Williams does 8x8 or something. Is that the project you have there?
Yep.
So it's one of.
Yeah.
So it's 8 touches in 8 weeks.
Yep. Call, text, email, mailer, whatever.
So when we get a lead, we basically, through our advertising, we do a call, a text, and an email within about 10 minutes. That's how our system is set up. If somebody fills out an ad form at 2 a.m, we figure they're ready for a text. Bad side is there's a lot of people that put in bogus phone numbers, so somebody else might be getting a text in. But here's just one system, a 26 touch, 12 emails, 12 mails, 2 phone calls. Anybody ever heard of slide dial?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you can even do slide dial where you're actually basically just leaving a voicemail for somebody. Farm follow-up matrix, that's a whole different program. Now, think about this one, because studies have shown that if you send sporadic emails, you're more likely to get opt-outs than consistent emails. Right, so if I send an email and more frequent emails get less opt-outs than less frequent. So if you send an email out every 3 months, you may get a lot of opt-outs. 2 months is going to be less. Once a month is less than that. Once a week is going to get you leads because now they know who you are at least. So obviously you have to be sending something of value, right? So different programs are out there. So what are your tactics? Obviously we talked about that. We talked about a little bit about tactics, right? So tactics are what you're doing. This is the database marketing is a strategy, right? So we got the difference of those. Everybody should have multiple strategies, right? That's I call it multiple pillars of your business. Where are you getting your sources of business from, right? I don't want all my business coming from probate work, right? So because what happens if the laws change? Right, so I do probate and I do radio and I do lunch and learns and we do office meetings. We do all kinds of things. We do our database where Jennifer calls everybody, right? Those are all different pillars of business. You need to make sure you've identified yours. So direct tactics here, direct mail, email. Whoa. Anybody ever heard of one of those?
Yeah.
Right, it's pretty rare nowadays, right? So people aren't using those too often, but it is.
Quick little side note. Some people didn't know this. You know why, like, the area code for LA is 213 and the area code for New York is 212?
No.
When you're dialing on that phone, it's the fastest way. You don't have to go all the way around the phone. It's 212, 213. So when we see these, 714 was a lot later, and it was all because of the dial phone. Took longer. And now it doesn't matter. You just push.
Yeah.
So
my son taught me that. He's 34.
So Roger, when you're over at the tartan room this evening, you can bet somebody a cocktail. If you can tell me why 212 is for New York and 213 is for LA, I'll buy you a drink. If you can't, then you buy me a drink.
First place
I
is
don't know, I'll be done with the whole beer.
Okay,
That was funny.
so here's where you get into some of the fun. It's from your database also, client events, right? Anybody ever do a housewarming party? Nobody's done a housewarming party?
We've been in COVID, remember?
Well, maybe some people here, I know not Jose, but some of us have been around in real estate for more than 18 months. Right?
Yeah.
Housewarming party, right? So you tell the buyer of a property that you've just sold that you'll host a housewarming party for them, for their friends, family, neighbors. I recommend don't do it, don't include alcohol, right? If they want alcohol, let them do their own. But you'll take care of all the invitations. You'll take care of bringing all the food and beverage and maybe some door prizes. What does that do for you?
Get the carpets clean. Oh, not that kind of housewarming.
No, man, you're in a different page.
We're
This is database.
Like the
We're
top-
talking about database marketing. So the reason that we're doing that is we want to get if we're going to send out the invitations, don't we need to know the names of their friends, families, and the people that they want invited,
And the
And
addresses.
all their neighbors.
and the addresses,
Yep.
and their email address, so we can send an evite or whatever, or a text message, right? So if I've just sold Aaron a house, I'm gonna say, Aaron, I'll do this party for you. There's 25. I'll pay for 50 people,
I'll bring the taco guy.
right? So I'll bring the taco guy, whatever,
Yeah.
right? You just have to give me the name of who you want me to invite,
Yeah.
right? Now I've got another 50 people to get into my database, and I'm going to send them a newsletter every Tuesday. And that's not always about real estate. It's I forgot what the last one was about. It was something really weird, and I got a number of comments about it. But client events, client appreciation events, right? Once a quarter, maybe you're doing a client appreciation event. If you deal with investors, maybe you want to do a wealth builder workshop every quarter. I kind of like happy hour, to be honest with you, but that's a whole different story, right? Social media. Now I've got about 59,000 connections on social media, right? I've got the La Quinta buzz, right? Some people don't even know where La Quinta is, right? No, Palm Desert or Coachella Valley, actually, right? So but I've also got Palm Desert buzz. I've got San Diego buzz, Orange County buzz, Real Estate Pros of SoCal, Real Estate Pros of Coachella Valley, right? So I've got all these different social media groups. I also started something called the Westridge Community Buzz or Community Page. So it's just a small community, an HOA in Anaheim Hills.
Anaheim Hills Caravan.
Anaheim Hills Caravan, right? So set all these things up. Communicate with people. Let them know that you're the go-to person in the neighborhood. Video is big, right? I was one of the guys that I paid to coach me, basically said, stop sending out written emails. Only send out video emails. And I haven't got it all down pat yet, but I've sent out more of them, and you'd be surprised. He actually is fascinating. Side note. So anybody ever have a problem getting through to the person they want to get through to? You have a gatekeeper, right? If you're dealing with businesses, that's a key thing, right? A gatekeeper. Would it surprise you that if you sent out an email that's only a video, that it would get through to Bill Gates himself?
Really?
This guy ended up doing business for years and years with Microsoft because he had called, he had texted or emailed, sent letters, never got through. He has a template that says private video and has his picture on there, or personal video message. And then below there, click here for a 35 second or 55 second or 90 second personal private video message. Gatekeeper didn't know how to deal with that because it's personal, it's private. So she sent it through to Bill Gates. You got to call back and start doing business with him for 15 years. Think about that concept there. So Sending out messages by video, I use a service called Dub. It's half the price of BombBomb.
Ooh.
A lot of people use BombBomb. Vimeo does some of the same things. And our database that we're going to be offering for our realtor partners, we're going to have a video service or video tool within that for free as well.
But I just take my Apple phone and I go right to the video and I create a generic message. And for instance, on Christmas Eve, I sent out 250 videos. And of course I use an Apple, one of the like antler things where I look like a reindeer and my voice comes out and everybody opens it and almost everybody responds because I am not afraid to put myself out there and get in front of people and be really raw and real and not pre-staged because
That's perfect.
people love the authenticity more than you could ever possibly imagine.
So, has anybody ever gotten an argument over a text message or an email? Were you joking around when you said whatever you said that caused the argument, or they caused the argument, or could it have been misinterpreted?
I had one coach talk about actually to keep it really real, have the dog bark or
yeah.
Scott, what are you doing in here? Or
Or stage that.
stage it, but make it look so that it's real. Say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just doing this off the cuff.
I've done
It's only
videos.
gonna be 2 minutes long. Boom, boom, boom. They get the message and they think it's real.
I've done videos where I said, "Hang on, Mindy," and then I do the video. Mindy wasn't in there, right? Because it's something that's real. But the whole idea there is when you're doing the video, you can actually show emotion. You can show passion. Hard to do that in a text message or an email, right? So, and then obviously face-to-face meetings. That's always going to be your best meeting, is getting face-to-face. Designing your systems. So every tactic that I just talked about, we've got to have a plan for how do we do it, right? And I like to have a system for how I do each tactic, because that way you have less mistakes, right? So I know that I like to have 2 screens. I don't have 2 screens this time. I don't know, Josh might be hearing us. He may not be hearing us. He's does all my producing and engineering work and assistant work and all that. He's in Vegas, so he's in the background. So the people that are watching us in other areas hopefully can do that. But we have a system for how we deal with everything, right? We want to have there's a lot less mistakes when you've got systems. The calendar is going to tell you when you have to get everything done, right? And you can also be looking at your calendar. So I've already got lunch and learns planned for September, October, November, December.
There's a flyer in your packet for September already.
Right. And we'll probably work on the calendar for 2022 in the next month or 2, maybe less than a month. We have to always wait because we want to see what some of the big events and associations are doing. So we don't want to try and compete with some of those things. And obviously look for holidays, right? So if you don't want to be conflicting with that, but get these things on your calendar, work backwards. And again, automate as much as possible.
Or delegate.
Well, that's automating.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, automate, my definition of automate is somebody else does it. Right? It's a pretty simple definition. So our direct mail system, letter of the heart. Right? Talk about what's going on in your world. Right? It's amazing. Those of you that are, there's 3 people here, 4 people that are in the Realty Pro 100 office, right? The last week has been amazing, the communications that have gone around since one of the agents, and those of you who don't know, one of the agent's husbands was murdered on Saturday night doing an inspection at a home in Huntington Beach.
What happened?
Right?
Was he?
It was I'll tell you afterwards because we're live here, but it's just a horrible situation, right?
Tragedy,
But what I'm talking about here, letter of the heart, is, hey, something, rally around people. Let people know that you're a real person, that you care, right? And if you find something like that, I don't know if you know that if you saw in the news, those 2 young people that were shot in Corona, right? So the young man, 19 years old, a week away from his 20th birthday, his uncle is the owner of Reunion Restaurant right down the street here.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So
he announced the funeral on his reunion page last night.
Yeah,
On
the memorial service, yeah.
Yeah.
So, doesn't cost anything to reach out and say, you know something, I'm really sorry that this happened. I know your family's struggling, but I'm just thinking about you. So stay in touch. Now, on the other side, if you know that if a family that you've been working with, they've got a kid that was accepted to college, it's not hard to find these things out anymore, right? It's all over social media. Send a card. You can either handwrite a card. Handwritten does handwritten cards if you don't like to write yourself, and it looks like it's handwritten. But all these are different tools that you can use. Success letters. If you ever sell a house, list a house, help somebody buy a house, right? You want to let your database know that, hey, I'm out there selling properties. I'm helping families. So a letter of evidence of success.
So you're top of mind, right?
Exactly. Birthday cards once a year. I'm not going to send Mindy one every day of the month that it's her birthday, but once a year is plenty. Right? Newsletters, quarterly, monthly. We do ours every week. So every Tuesday, our newsletter goes out by email. Holiday cards.
I like Popeyes though. Can we talk about those real quick?
That's not part of direct mail, though.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you cards for referrals. But I know some people that'll send a thank you card, and you can do this with handy written as well. A thank you card with a $5 Starbucks gift card. Right? Just thinking if you appreciate the referral, a cup of coffee on me. Unless you like a big fancy coffee, then it's a half a cup of coffee on them. Right? But thank you card. It's just
more $5 cards if you've got kids. I sent 3 cards out this one family. They mentioned me on Facebook. They showed me all the drinks that the kids got. They said we were so excited. It was really hot, and I was able to take the kids, and they all got a drink.
That's wonderful. The little things that really matter.
beautiful. Beautiful, right? I mean,
Yeah, $15.
they felt good. You felt good. You're top of mind. Who are they going to refer their next? Who are they going to refer when they're talking to?
Oh, I get referrals all the time.
Right? There you go.
We're gonna get a bigger mistake.
Yeah, take it down.
After you have that face-to-face meeting, thank you cards. Right? Put something personal in there, not just a generic thanks for meeting me. Right? Put something that you learned about them in the card. So we talked about letter of the heart right there, direct mail. There's some different ideas for the evidence of success. Does everybody know? I've heard recently that a lot of people are not familiar with the post office EDD program. Every door direct. So it's a relatively inexpensive way. You probably know that we're very involved with the July 4th events.
Yeah.
This last year, July 4th, as you know, fell on a Sunday, and the church that we have our parade and our run by wasn't too happy with us. But we ended up sending a note to every home in the area saying, hey, we do this every year on July 4th. We still believe in celebrating Christmas on December 25th and July 4th on July 4th. You know, we're going to be out here doing this. Here's some alternate routes to get to church. And I think it cost us $108 to go to, I don't know, 1,000 homes or something. It was relatively inexpensive. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was dirt cheap. Right? Roger could send out a thing about ankle biters. We've got the solution. Does anybody else? Right?
So
I mean,
true.
you know that, well, Roger went over and helped out our son in his complex, and they have a service in the complex that doesn't do squat, right? But my son's in love with Roger's service guy because he comes over there and they don't get their ankles bitten anymore.
And he could take
So-
his baby outside and sit on his own patio, for God's sake.
But the bottom line is, if Roger sent a postcard in that EDD that said, you know, we helped your neighbor get rid of his ankle biters or whatever they're really called, and a picture of a mosquito and somebody scratching themselves or
I'll
whatever,
show you the Bruce.
right? And, but see what I'm saying? And there's what, 200 homes in that complex or 200 apartments there?
They're
Right, I bet it
constantly
costs you a
there.
whole lot less to do 25 apartments in one complex on one day than going to 25 homes in 25 different cities.
What about
Right?
Melinda in Westridge? My God, everybody on her street now, she has them all in the backyard. And she literally, if you guys could see this broker, she'd wear 6 or 7 of those mosquito armbands around her legs, her wrists, around her neck. Now Roger comes. It's so silly, but people don't want to be bit by mosquitoes.
This isn't a mosquito event, Mindy.
But-
We're talking about marketing.
But think of
Direct mail newsletter.
You can spin it. I mean, it's crazy.
Thank you. Direct mail newsletter. So there are services out there that you can put as much or as little into your newsletter as you want. Right? Now, I do a radio show, so I talk a lot about repurposing things. I used to say we plagiarize, but I was told that we don't plagiarize anymore, we repurpose. There's a tool called Conversion AI, conversion.ai. So I could actually take Mark's newsletter and run it through Conversion AI, and it would rewrite it, and nobody would know that it was the same newsletter. Even the systems that I don't know, Jennifer, you may know the name.
Plagiarism tracker.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Turnitin.com. Okay, Bridget's got it.
I was a teacher.
Okay.
Too fast.
So there's a
They didn't have that when I was in
yeah,
college.
exactly. So there's a system that the teachers and places use now called Turnitin.com. And you don't need this one, Mark. Pardon?
Turnitin.com?
Turn it,
Turn
It.
T-U-R-N.
yep, T-U-R-N, it,
I-T.
It
in,
tells you if it's copied from the internet,
Dot
or
com.
copied from some other student that turned it in before, or whatever.
some of the teachers now,
Papers, Virginia.
some of the-
You didn't know.
some of the teachers now require you to submit your paper, your, whatever the report is, electronically, so they can send it to Turnitin.com and see if it was plagiarized.
Whatever, man.
Now, you take that exact paper, put it into conversion.ai, and it'll come out not plagiarized.
That's not cool.
Oh.
Pisses me off.
Now,
They remix it or something?
well, it just changes words, it changes sentence structure, but it'll also, the reason I get to that is, you can do that for newsletters, but it also has a feature in there for realtor listing descriptions, property descriptions.
Oh, good. So it's
So,
not like
and-
hello, Matt.
and it'll actually-
Everything else.
It'll actually put you kind of start it off in there, and it'll take the data and put it into an SEO friendly format. So it'll get found more frequently but direct mail newsletters, as I was saying before, that's another one. Email campaigns, those are pretty simple. I've talked to you about that one. We have one that we offer that we can gift to you to do weekly emails. Most of you probably already get it. Ours on Tuesday, it comes out every Tuesday. Monthly newsletters, birthday cards, holiday cards, anniversary cards, closing cards. Obviously, we all know about phone calls. We talked about that. 10 a day. Is that hard?
Yes.
But so the question becomes, what's harder, not getting to the numbers you want or need, or making 10 calls a day? Now, I'm working on something that I'm going to share with you guys. It's from my mentor, my coach, and it's called a dream card. Does anybody ever have a dream board?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vision.
Board.
Yeah.
So the coach that I'm using says you need to have a dream card and put it on the back of your phone,
Oh, that's a good idea.
right? Or on your as your screensaver. Now, he lost 60 pounds using his dream card because what he did was
I need a bodyguard. That will not work.
he basically put on there. He says take a picture of where you are now, and what the reason that you want to get to where you want to get to. So the why. So in Mindy's case, she has a wedding coming up in a year. She wants to get to a certain place for that, right? So you put a picture of her now.
Isn't that what the plastic surgeon's for?
You gotta pay for that.
I know, I gotta get more leads for.
So 10 calls a day, but put your reason why you're doing that.
That's a really great
Bir-
idea.
Birthday calls, anniversary calls, top 25, top 50s, right? And you're gonna just put that right into your database. Now you want to have a certain number of conversations. Doesn't count just to make a call, right? So if I call Bridget and she doesn't answer, that doesn't count as my call for the day.
Oh,
Right?
they have to answer.
Okay, well, she's already got my number blocked, so it doesn't matter. So, but there are people, if you're making calls consistently, we've already heard it and seen it on some of the mastermind groups that I'm on. They say that the agents know that they're calling every Tuesday to see what's going on. So at the end of the call, the agents already know what the script is. Is there anybody that you know that we can help buy, sell, refinance a house? Okay, talk to you next Tuesday. And the agent will say, talk to you next Tuesday because they know you're going to call Tuesday again. Right? So
Top of mind.
book those lunches. I think there's a book out that's called Never Eat Alone. Right? Monthly happy hours. Plan them. Referrals. So this week I don't know why, but I had an agent call me. They needed referrals to a probate attorney. I kind of guess why. Somebody must have died, but right. So, but have your tracker, your tribe. I call it a tribe list. Right. So I have a tribe list on my computer. Anybody ever wants to know anybody? You need a photographer? Okay, I got Marshall's number on there. You need a home inspector? I've got a couple in Orange County, a couple in Coachella Valley. Right. So here's just a sample of some phone calling plans. Monday, referral partners. Tuesday, status updates. Wednesday, past clients. Thursdays, hot and old leads. Fridays, calling builders. Right? So and these are all in your book, or if you want this slideshow, I'll send it to you. Referral partners. Who's good referral partners for realtors? Lenders.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, we only have about 197 people right now. 97, Jennifer, in the probate list right now that we're nurturing.
Memorial Parks.
Yeah.
I'm connected to Fairhaven Memorial Park.
People are dying to go there.
And the spouse and the other spouse is trying to figure out what she's going to do with her, he or she,
Sure,
and they might need help.
absolutely. So we didn't put that one on there, but HR people, financial planners, CPAs, any of them looking for business?
Yes.
So every time you do a transaction, if you ask the buyer or the seller, do you have a great CPA? What are they going to say? Yes or no?
Yes, usually.
One or the other,
Right.
right? So if they have a great CPA, good. Do you mind giving me their name? Because I might have somebody to refer to them. If they say no, well, I know one. You just sold a house. You may want to talk to them because you're going to have some tax implications. Either way, you can do the same thing. Insurance people.
Trust guys.
Yeah. So insurance people, a lot of insurance agents do renters insurance, right? Try and do an event with them ask them if they make more money on a rental policy or a homeowner's policy. Start doing some marketing events with them. Divorce attorneys, estate attorneys, we jumped the gun there, bankruptcy attorneys, business owners, tax preparers, insurance agents, all people to be calling on a regular basis. Some people don't like making phone. So what do you do if you don't like making phone calls?
Automate it.
Automate it. Exactly. I hate making phone calls. So I give Jennifer the whole list. Right?
Yeah.
Hire your weaknesses. You can steal that one. Right? Yeah, she is. I mean, she's a lot better than me. I just don't like making phone calls. I'll answer phone calls. I'll set appointments for phone calls. Right? But they need to be done. So if you don't like to do it, have somebody else that you're paying to do it. And I even know a guy that has virtual assistants that you can hire. All right, so I'm meeting a service that has virtual assistants available. He and I are meeting tomorrow morning at 7:30. I have no clue what time zone he's in, but we'll have that available.
Just like we were talking the other day, and then I had to tell you to hold on to answer my phone, and it was you. Sorry, Ron, we on. Yes, Ron?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that needs to be on video. That is hilarious. Do you know how many agents come to Lunch and Learns and they all, that's hilarious.
Yeah, we were there. Exactly.
Oh.
So,
Come to the lunch and learn.
are you coming? Confirm me.
What is that?
Client events. So if you have them on a regular basis, whatever that might be, right? So housewarming parties I talked to you about, educational seminars, monthly or quarterly, client parties, charity events. Charity events are great. When one of the things that our advertising company, our firm just told us is Be the sponsor for the local sporting events, right? For the local high schools and whatever, right? So if you go to Canyon High School, where we sponsor the basketball team there, and they put a big banner up for us in the gymnasium.
You should see Rob's picture.
Yeah, they throw darts at it when the basketball games aren't going on. But I think they play volleyball in the same place, so it's up there. So they see that we're in the community, right? You guys are realtors are the face of every community, right? And if you're not, you should be, right? You need to be out there. You need to know who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it. And you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not doing it to sell a house. You're doing it to be part of the community.
I sponsored a track team down at Lisa Viejo High School years ago when things were cheap. They said $3,000 moves you in, had my name and phone number on it. Real big banner. They had spent a lot of money on it. Some other real estate agents could cut it down just last year.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, they were mad. I said, he's not paying the big bucks.
Well, the bottom line is be out there in the community. So, anybody ever do have you ever heard of 10-10-20? Never heard of 10-10-20?
The 20 people across the street, the 10 people on both sides of your house.
Not your house, your
No,
listing.
The house that you're gonna, the listing.
So you have a new listing.
Yeah.
And you go door knocking to the 10 people on each side of the property. This is a Steve Harney suggestion. Steve was at one time he had 517 real estate agents work for him in his office in New York. So you go to 10 houses on each side of your new listing, 20 houses across the street, tell the neighbors you're going to have a special event just for neighbors. You're doing an open house on Saturday from 1 to 4, but neighbors are invited at noon. Have them come in and see the property, right? Have a raffle, have a drawing, give away a trip to Vegas, right? Whatever you may want to do. Give away a gift card to a local restaurant, right? All of those things are possibilities. But number one, and then the gift card obviously it's got to be done by a raffle, and you want to do it on the community Facebook page or on Instagram, right? Because you want that to get out to more than just those 40 people, right? And you want to get those names in your database. Client parties. Now we're coming into party season, right? Hard to believe, but it's already time to start planning parties. Right? Hopefully we'll be able to have parties, but cookies with Santa, photos, all that kind of good stuff. You know, obviously stay top of mind with social media. So friend requesting people, this is the one that always gets me, is people that are in a public information business and have a private social media page. Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You're trying to, you know what they call a real estate agent that nobody knows about?
Secret agent.
There you go. Secret agent, out of business.
Out of business.
I love it.
Hey, waiter.
Last year.
What? Oh, I didn't hear, sorry. You know, hey, waiter, that's whatever you want to call it. But don't lock down your social media pages. Let people see who you are. You may not want it. You know, there's an agent that we know about locally, and they have two different personal pages. One has their middle initial, one doesn't. Right? One is for just that they do lock down, and the other one is that the public can see, and they tell them exactly what they do. You can categorize your Facebook contacts too, right? Everybody know you can do that? So you can send a message out to just people that are Orange Circle fans, right? People that like to spend their time at the Orange Circle. Whatever. You have to have a Facebook page for ads, a business page if you want to do advertising. So you're probably going to want to have you might want to have one that's branded and one that's unbranded. So for all of our advertising, we use an unbranded page. So I think it's called California Home Buyers, something along those lines. And we'll have another session on just dealing with Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising. We do all of those. Videos. So there's a place you can actually go Google video tip of the week. So, and you can do this by yourself or you can do it with somebody else. So you can have a video tip of the week on dealing with everything, right? So how do you make hummingbird food, right? That could be a video. You can do something like that. There's some weird one. I mean, I did one 7 or 8 years ago. Have you ever got in a car and you don't like a rental car and you don't know what side of the car the gas tank's on?
Oh, you know, there's another arrow.
The little arrow.
A lot of people don't know that little arrow is telling you what side of the car it's on,
Yeah.
right?
I think that's that.
Some of us can't see the little arrow because our eyesight's so bad.
That's another story.
Exactly, right? But you can do it. You can do a video on that. Anybody know what a video sandwich is? No? Video sandwich?
What's a video
Is
sandwich?
it on here?
I don't know.
No.
Probably.
Yeah.
The answer's probably not on there, but I'm going to tell you what it is.
No, it's not. Oh, yeah, here, number 4.
Okay, see it.
So basically, you find a viral video, and you copy that viral video, you download that viral video, you automate it, find somebody else to do it for you, right? And then you put your intro and your outro around it, or you make a comment ahead of it. Hey, Roger, I saw this video. I thought of you. You got to look at it. And then you have the video following. And that's a video sandwich.
I've seen more of those, yeah, where they say, hey, I want to share with you this content, it's really good. And then you watch someone else's video in his video.
Exactly.
Interesting, I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, so you put your information. Now it's already, if you do it with a viral video, you already have knowledge and history that lots of people like that content, right? So you're just branding it to yourself.
Right.
Client testimonials, right? That could be on video. Right, the guy that I'm coaching with right now, he says that I should be running a video for a half hour before we start our sessions here of just different testimonials.
That's a great idea.
Right, so people know that you're going to have content that's going to be worth listening to, so that they know if you're going to. And you can do home buyer workshops using all those same things. Now, what if you don't have the information to do a home buyer workshop?
Get someone.
Call me. I think the last one I did was, I think, 1 hour and 45 minutes.
In Palm Springs, right?
No, actually I did it a month and a half ago, and I did it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
A lot of our stuff's on YouTube. So we did it right there, and we had people, checking in, and now they're still watching the whole thing. Face-to-face, lunch appointments weekly. Pop, she left. Okay, so we don't have to talk about Popeyes. Right, this is Mindy's favorite, the Popeyes.
Oh, do you guys want me to tell you my favorites?
What's it
Yeah.
called?
Why don't you explain what it is first, then you can tell us what your
Oh,
favorites
when
are.
you come over to a client's house.
When you just show up unexpected. So I love giving packages of seeds for like planting in April because they're super I love inexpensive hokey things. And like sidewalk chalk for kids. Oh my God, right now you can get like for 99 cents sidewalk chalk. There's so many fun things you can pop by their house. Like at summertime in June, you could do sidewalk chalk. Those little baby pumpkins for 49 cents right now, where you can like actually, draw faces on them and attach your cards. I know those are really common, but people keep them in their house as tchotchkes right on the counter. They really do. It's crazy.
Did you really say people keep tchotchkes?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like,
I know what I mean.
yeah. So.
No, many kids
But
me
my
about
favorite
tchotchkes. I'm
is
always
like-
buying tchotchkes.
Yeah.
For imprint, if you don't know the name of a good place to get
No,
them.
we have
Yeah,
another
see,
private
you always
lady.
buy- yeah.
So
I use your stuff.
for imprint, so these, a lot of people look at this and they think it's a can opener, right?
What is it? It's a can opener.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute.
It's a cell phone holder.
is it?
Wow.
Right.
It does both. Aaron, we have multiple options
Yeah,
here,
I like
right? So you can take that thing, set it down upside down, and put your cell phone in there.
Yeah, I did that. Clever.
Yeah, because you have that.
Did everybody get their cell phone holder?
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger, you can open a beer with it too. Right, so
5:30.
Popeyes, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, think about organizations. Now, Mindy talks about doing this as as one-offs. I like leverage, right? So you guys can do this. Think about different places that you could go to, that you could do a pop by that is larger, more, one on many. So fire stations, police stations, libraries, right? You can go, there's all kinds, and I don't even know all of them, but you can go by a lot of different places for Popeyes.
We have a client that literally every month takes 24 homemade chocolate chip cookies, not the Costco ones that I'm serving. Next month they'll be homemade. Homemade chocolate chip cookies to the fire department every single month. And all the guys talk to her, and everybody knows who she is at the firehouse. And, it's the silliest thing, but she is top of mind to them.
And Mark, it's probably not going to work as good for you as it would for Bridget. Just saying, right? Just, it's just the way it is. There's different places you have to go to.
But you could team up with somebody like Bridget, and then they might.
There you go. Birthday cupcake yearly. Like, I know that Holly's Pies, they have a pie of the month you can do for someone's birthday. Networking events are face-to-faces. Holy cow! Seminars. Oh, I wonder how many screens we have happy hour on. I'm gonna have to talk to our guys about happy hours. Obviously, happy hour is a biggie.
But we have these.
Client tech.
Yeah, because we have these at your desk for Popeyes right now. If you guys want to put your card on the back and use them, we've got lots of these. We're welcome to share with you. But go ahead.
Client testimonials. Zillow reviews. Google reviews are much better than Zillow reviews now, right? We want to do everything we possibly can not to have people go to Zillow, right?
Absolutely.
You put your card in here?
There you go again. It's your iPad. Somebody's watching you on Facebook Live.
There you go. It probably is. Sorry about that. So, no, that's actually the back is a magnet.
That's a bad, yeah. But if you want to use it as a Popeye.
It doesn't work on those stainless steel refrigerators.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think most of them you can put it on the side, because that's what Mindy did with ours. It's on the side of the refrigerator.
I hate stuff on my house.
Where do you put your card?
I don't know what she's talking about on that one.
For you to keep, and you can put your card, and we can co-brand with you and things. But we can talk about it after. Keep going.
Right here.
Say, Google reviews are much, much better. That's why we're going to talk about Google page, setting up your Google page. Does everybody have their Google page set up? Google My Business. Okay. Make sure that you register for next month. Bing reviews, Trulia reviews, Facebook reviews. Okay, so all those are places. But again, number one is Google. And if you're using our app, we're doing everything we can to keep people off of Zillow. Right? So you put your own IDX right on the app, so they don't even have to go shopping for house.